We welcome everyone. First of all, as we go live here, I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to settle in and kind of continue our conversation. Honestly, we were just chatting about how important it is to keep your mindset in the right place when we're in very volatile markets right now. If you're watching a recorded version of this, and we have to stick to our rules at all times because that's what consistently works over years, right? Today, you may be able to do something, but consistency is the only thing that really makes you successful in the long run. So we were talking about how you have to be so grateful and happy with your profit when you get it. Because there's a lot of moves right now where you get in, you get out, and you say, oh, I could have made so much more on that, right? Because the moves are so large right now. But Randy had a really good point of, hindsight is 2020, and you don't know at the time how long that's going to go. You have to take your profit and you have to be happy with it because it could have just moved that much in the other direction right after you got out as well. You cannot tell the future, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd all be bajillionaires. So that's why we stick to our rules. But good morning, Joe and Randy. We're here for every Thursday morning. We talk about the market in a little bit different view than you may be used to hearing. So how's this week been going? It's been a crazy week. Fed announcements are going on. Multi-100 point swings on the Dow every day, every pre-market. How is everyone doing? Are we holding up? How's it going, Joe?
Well, I tell you what, it's been a strange week. It's we're up 21% as of today. Well, that's fantastic as far as returns to the market goes. Um, this is Thursday, and we typically average over the last 143 weeks. We've been doing this as a subscription service, and we've averaged over 100% per week. Well, I don't think we're going to hit 100% this week. It's just been really kind of slow with all the stuff over in with Russia and everybody, and then the flu stuff, COVID stuff here. In fact, Tim won't be here today. He's probably maybe his last day with the sickness. He assured me he's going to be back tomorrow. We'll see. But so it's just been kind of messy. But it's still, like everything, we've had an incredible week. What we do is 5 days a week when the market opens, 8:30 in the morning Central Time to 9:30 Central Time. Usually maybe 15 minutes shorter than that. We enter trades. And our trades are called micro moment trading because we're only in them for 15, 20, maybe 30 seconds is a long time. And then we're out. And we're trading options. So we're in a very, very cheap initial cost. Maybe an Apple option will be like $1.50 or something like that, depending on the day of the week, sometimes less than $1. And we're in and out within 15 or 20 seconds. And we make, probably we went back average would be around 150% for all these weeks, but we're always over 100%, except for this week. It's really, really kind of been a slow week. And like Micah said earlier, it just, Randy, the market's just been all over the place. Mm-hmm. But 21%, my goodness, that's an absolutely incredible. Now, Randy's going to come on here in a minute. Of course, he'd probably beat that. He always we're not convinced he does, but he says he does. But that's what we do. And it's 5 days a week. And it's just the most fantastic investment thing on the face of the earth because we only trade indexes and Apple, which we treat as an index, SPY, QQQ. So we never are trying to think about, is this stock going to go up? Is this index going to go up or is it going to go down? We don't care. When the market opens, we don't know. We know prior to it opening, if it's going to go open, down, or up. It doesn't make any difference to us. We will not trade those individual shares of QQQ or anything or Apple. We're trading index. And so we're not concerned about trying to make 2 or 3 cents when something going up or something going down. We do. We're not concerned about it. And there's no market that's bad for us because if there's any activity at all, our bad days are when there's just no trading. And there's always some trading. But it's going to vary a little bit how intense that is. But that's what we do, and we've been doing it a long time now. and you subscribe to that service, and you get. I think you go to our website right now. I know the website's getting a new website, but if you go to it, I believe you get a week or two free for that service, and it's absolutely worth it because you can do virtually. You can do it virtually on your trading platform, so you don't have to really ever risk any money until you're ready and you've got this thing down, which takes you a couple of weeks. And we have Micah and Cezanne and Tim reading out trades based on our charting, proprietary charting, and you learn how to do that. And you learn how to read that chart, and that chart tells you when to get in and when to get out. I'm not gonna say you never in. Mike, what's been your shortest trade? You think 5-6 seconds?
Shortest?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sometimes they're very well. Probably 19 seconds.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. Randy's probably a little longer because you know Randy, he's got slower, and
Hey,
but that's just how he is. So,
I just did one while you were talking there, so I'm calculating my percentage right now.
That didn't happen to be a spy put, was it?
It was a SPY put. You got it. That's what the chart said. That's what the chart said. It's rolling over right now. Get
I
in.
know. I was glancing at it, and I'm like, "Focus, Micah."
And it's still going. I mean, the charts are
Focus
just
on the
open.
podcast.
Yes.
We do not need to make a trade
Yeah.
right now. Randy,
And the SPY is an index,
Yes.
and it's the largest index. It's S&P 500. So I guess it's probably the largest index we have. Go ahead, Randy.
Well, Joe, and you'll be happy, Joe. It was let's see, 24 and 3, 27. I was in for 27 seconds.
There you go.
27 seconds in and out while you were talking. The intraday streaming chart, everything that Joe just talked about is only possible. The only reason why it's possible is because of the intraday streaming charts that Joe has had developed that allows us to look at the changing of the momentum, the changing of the direction. And it says, it lets you interpret and say, this is the time to get in. If it's going up, we buy a call. If it's going down, we buy a put. And it's just doing that all day.
Yeah,
and there's hundreds of positions that you could enter over the course of a day.
you don't do anything unless the chart tells you. So it's not like you're sitting here looking at a lot of stuff trying to figure it out. You're just looking at that chart because you know what you're trading, keep your Q app or whatever. That's not going to go anywhere. And it's going to teach you. Now, Randy, this last weekend, I attended both days, had a 2-day charting seminar that seriously, if you didn't attend that, you've really lost out because he teaches you in that seminar how to read all that charting stuff. It's simple. It really is simple. You got to know what an inverted V is and what a V is, and that's it. If you know those two things, you got it made. Go ahead, Randy.
Well, and that's the thing. Like Joe said, you look at the chart. We teach you when this line crosses this line, this is what you do. It's really as easy as that. It's not complex. It's not complicated. What's that?
let's do a special little segment. We've actually never shown the live charts on here. We've shown some screenshots. Joe, would you be okay with me bringing up a live chart just for a few minutes?
Sure, go ahead.
Cool.
Well, while he's doing that, I've done 2 trades today on SPY, and as Joe said, this market is wild. I mean, it's going up, and immediately it turns down and goes down, and immediately it's just all over the place. So I only did 2, but the first one was 5.9%, the second one was 6.3%. So I've got over almost 12% return for the day. Really getting close to my goal. And you just have a goal that says, this is what I'd like to make.
Yeah.
You hit it and you get done and you go do something else. It's not sit in front of the computer all day and getting your eyes all blurry. In fact, Joe and Tim and the group, less than an hour every morning, they're on teaching how to do this, looking at that chart that Mike has got up there. Is that SPY?
Yep, this is SPY in real time.
And so you can see that just a few minutes ago, when all the lines were at the top and the white line crossed below the green line, and then that first lower indicator, we call them, where the red and the blue lines are down there, the red line crossed below the blue line by the put right there, and it declined, and the put makes a profit when it goes down, and out in 27 seconds.
Well, what's amazing is that these returns are so consistent as to the grade. Like say Zon did an Apple this morning, 6.1%. And Randy just had something right at 6%. Micah did one this morning, 5.9%. Randy had one this morning around 5.9 or 6 something. So it's pretty consistent what these returns are. So
now I want to draw attention to something also that we take. I take it a little bit for granted because it's all the only really trading I've ever known. But that trade that Randy just made, it went down. The SPY went down. We're not shorting it. We're not doing anything like that. We are buying and then selling and making money when it goes down. Now, Randy's main techniques are all about an upcycle because overall the market trend is still up. In spite of this week, we're on an upwards market trend, have been for a long, long time.
Yep.
But the
and so that's the thing.
to make a profit at something. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that you're talking about with the intraday streaming chart, which is this, and you'll see it just moves minute by minute by minute, and the market's constantly changing up and down, up and down. That a profit can be made whether it's going up or whether it's going down, and it's very, very short term. And at the end of the day, or whenever that you want to quit and turn the computer off, you're back to 100% cash. These are never positions that are left for the long term. And we're not speculating or guessing what direction is this market going to be. Where's it going to be tomorrow? What's going to happen in March when interest rates? It doesn't matter. These are all at the moment, right now. What does the chart say? Is it beginning momentum in which direction? And we're just looking for that. We're looking for the beginning of decline or the beginning of rise on a minute by minute time frame. Not what is it doing all day or what's it doing this week. It's minute by minute. And so that can be done any time of the day while the market's open. The stock market has to be open, and it can be done any day of the week. It makes no difference what's happening out there in the market other than it's going up and down. And SPY is a nice one. It's the S&P 500 ETF. And so it's a little more diversified. It's not one individual stock. Tim does Apple extremely successfully because Apple has lots of volatility. Volatility means it goes up and down. It doesn't just go slowly in one direction. And so Apple has been $2.20 between the high and the low today. So that's good volatility. SPY has been almost $6 between the high and the low. So within those ranges, while it's moving up and down, we just look at the chart, and when the appropriate lines are crossing, we're either buying if it's going up, we're buying the call, or we're buying the put if it's going down. As Micah said, we're not shorting, we're not speculating, we're buying. We're either buying a call when it's going up or buying a put when it's going down, because a put increases in value when the stock goes down. The call increases in value when stock goes up. And the plan is to be in for well less than a minute. And so it's just for the way this market is, that you have no idea where it's going to be in an hour from now. In fact, almost every day this week, there's been a huge reversal throughout the day. Either it's been going up like gangbusters and it turns around and drops like a rock, or it's been going down, down, down. You think the sky is falling, and all of a sudden it jumps all the way back up.
Hey, Randy, what did Monday or Tuesday? There was one day the market was down 1,100, 1,200 points or something like for a period of time, and then ended up for the day.
Yeah, Tuesday, the difference from the Dow high to low was over 1,200 points. It was down like 1,000 or 1,100 at one time, and it ended up to the positive. That's what's happening right now. Is the market is changing dramatically just within the day. So it's not based on Apple said this or Amazon said that or Microsoft. It's not based on that. It's based on the big traders, the ones that are trading millions of dollars. It's based on their interpretation of what might happen 17 steps down the road if this is happening right now. They're guessing. And so they just keep saying, oh no, I better get out. This is crummy. and they sell. Then it goes down. They go, oh, this is a good buying opportunity. Now, then they buy, it goes up. So it's really that huge money that's driving the market up and down. The intraday streaming chart with the micro moment trading, you're in and out in 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. All that stuff doesn't matter. All that matters is it's going up and down a lot. And with that volatility brings in the ability, the opportunity to be able to make quick profits and really nice ones. 2, 3, 4, 5% on a trade is a pretty good return. And you can use that same money again in the same day. So you're not trading hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can trade very small amount, but you're using it multiple times in the day. And that's how you really rack up and build on those returns.
Yeah, and let me give my $2,000. Everybody gets sick of
it. There you go. Give your 2,000 example.
Because all this works because of the power of compounding. And like Randy can take $2,000 and he can do this virtually until he gets it down with his trading platform. But put $2,000 into the account one time only, never put any more money in there yourself again. And then follow these guys every morning and only make 7% a week. They make, Cezanne and Tim made, 21%, something like that today, or 12% today, and 21% for the week so far. 7% a week, and in 2 years, exactly 2 years, your money would have compounded to $850,000, and then 7% of that's about $40,000-$50,000 a week. So that's the power of this stuff, and you can do it without risking anything that goes to virtual trading. Incredible.
Yeah. I want to clarify something on that too. I want to spend a moment here.
Okay.
So we're going to break this down step by step. Okay, track with me, because that sounds very odd, and I realize it does. But this is how it works. Okay, we're going to keep everything super round numbers. Type in any questions if you'd like, but we're going to keep it super round numbers. So say you have $100. Okay, you make 10%. You now have $110, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you make another trade. Well, a series of trades, right? You make another 10%, but you're using $110 now. So what do you make? What is 10% of $110?
What?
11.
Yeah.
$11. So last time you made $10. This time you do the same exact thing and make $11. Why? Because that percentage has been added onto your total, right? So now we have $121. What is 10% of $121?
12 cents.
$12 and a dime. So now by doing the same thing 3 times, you've made $10, and then all of a sudden you've made $12.10. That is how compounding functions. You are not, the only thing that happens is you let time pass. But I've been trying to figure out a way to explain how you don't, like, yes, you trade better, you get better, but you don't make more, right? The time works for you. The compounding works for you. You don't make bigger and bigger trades, and right, you let the compounding take effect, and then when your size rolls up, it takes care of itself.
Hey, Micah, my nifty compounding calculator here.
Oh yeah.
Your example start off with $100, right? And you said 10% a week, something like that. 156 weeks which is 3 years. You're not gonna believe this, but that compounds
at 10%. I cannot imagine.
$186,588,582.69. Now that's kind of unreal, right?
Yes.
So if
you would be able to trade,
let's say you did that. Let's say you made 2% a week. 2% a week is going to give you weekly.
So I just wanted to clarify that on how compounding actually functions.
Yeah.
We do not make 10% a day. I want to clarify that. We do not trade $100 and make 10% a day. That's not something we do, but I wanted nice round numbers so that we can see how the math works at, in every period.
If you just made 2% a week for 2 years, 3 years, that $100 moves into 2,195.97, which is still huge.
Yes.
You know?
I also want to clarify we don't trade our entire account.
Yep.
When we make a trade. Go ahead, Randy.
Well, let's make it like really, really simple, especially for like the smaller investor. Let's say we only do 3 trades a week. And we use that $1,000 3 times a week. Once on Monday, once on Wednesday, once on Friday. 3 times a week, in and out. And you make 5%. So 5%, you make $5 on Monday, you make $5, or is it 50? It's 50%, right? If you're trading 1,000, you're making $50. So $50 on Monday, $50 on Wednesday, $50 on Friday, $150. After 7 weeks, you've earned more than your $1,000. You could put the original $1,000, you could put it under your pillow and just trade and compound all the rest to get up to potentially millions. And you've never risked any more than you're really not risking any money. It's like they say in Las Vegas, you're playing with the house's money then, right? If you lose all that, you didn't really lose anything because you still have your original money. So with the ability that these charts provide you, along with the teaching and training, you don't just get the chart and you start doing it. It's critical that you get the teaching, training, and coaching that Tim and Cezanne and Joe give every morning while you're learning how to use those charts. And then it's just a matter of following the chart, following the chart. And you can just do 3 trades a week. And so there was a question about what if you only have $2,000? You can do 3 trades a week, 3 different days, and you can still generate a nice amount of income. And then as that starts growing, pretty soon you got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And then the dollar figure just grows up more and more because you say $50. So I made $50. Well, how long does it take you to make $50 at your job?
Randy, my 7% just once a week, 7% moves that 2,000 into that $580,000 category. Something.
There you go. Yeah. It's all about being able to use that same money over and over and over again, even if it's only once a week. I made 2 trades this morning, 5.9%, 6.3%. So you can make 5% in a day. It's not guaranteed. You can't say I will always do that. But if you follow the rules, and that's the thing, that the teaching is a set of rules. This is what you do. You're looking for this. You wait for that, and here's how you do the trade. It's not guessing, speculating. It's not saying, oh, it looks like it's doing this.
Yeah.
It's a whole set of teaching that you follow the rules. So it's not a bunch of subjective things. You're looking for specific setups on that chart, and you keep seeing them over and over again. You get in and you get out.
When you attend those morning sessions, people post their trades and they say what they're making, and they'll a lot of them making 35, 40, 55 cents a day. You say cents, that's not money. That's a heck of a lot. That's, over, just a few trades. That's a huge amount.
Yes, and the rules are, this math all changes severely if you get in a trade and don't follow the rules and it's negative and you say, oh, I hope it turns around, and you stay in it, and that loss keeps racking up, and then you exit. That none of this math works in that. So if you don't follow the rules, that is it's a whole different story.
When you get in because it's green. Your indicator's green, and before you're out in a few seconds, if it turns red, you just go ahead and jerk it out of there as quick as you can. Because I've seen people sit around and wait, and pretty soon, instead of losing 2 or 3 cents, they lose 25 or 30 cents, and that's just not done. Very seldom does that happen now. Our people are playing so good that very, very seldom happens.
But that's critical, Joe. That's another part of the rule-based system that says you're not going to be 100% profitable on every single trade. That's just impossible.
Mhm.
I mean, you might have a string of 40, 50, 60 times. There's going to be one that it just goes the opposite direction than what you thought. The chart said it was all setting up, and something happens at a very second and it reverses. You get out. And like Joe said, you might be locking in a 3% loss or a 4% loss. But the thing is, you make that up on the next profitable
Well,
trade.
look what Carl says there. Carl says I had one trade on SPY today with a 12.32% gain. Huge. This trading process is the best I have ever seen. I use it every day for 1 hour. And here's the key about 1 hour. You're making so much money here, and believe me, sitting at try to day trade or sit at the computer very long when you're doing these so fast, it really unconsciously works on your mind, and you don't know you're losing some of your efficiency. So it's best just to, hey, get up, walk away. And we have people all the time, particularly some people. John, I think John always says, well, I just had 4 trades, blah, blah, blah. I'm gone. I'm going to the beach,
Yep. I've really been practicing my discipline in that, because I like trading, right? So I want to keep going. I've had to practice shutting it down. And yesterday and today I did 1 trade a day. I was covering the room with Joe, for Tim. He's out sick right now. And yesterday I had 1 trade. I lost, looking at it right now, I lost 9 cents. In 23 seconds, and it was negative 1.8%.
Yep.
The market was moving, and that was my only trade for the day. I had a red day. Today, I continued to follow the rules, right? So I lost 1.8% the first day, and today followed the rules again.
Yep, 6%.
Kept going, and it was a 5.9% win.
Yep.
So that's 2 days of, but if I wasn't willing to walk away and say, well, I followed my rules, and that's literally it. I followed my rules. And this day it was red, and this day it was green.
Mike, here's the key with me and Randy. We do this involuntarily. Because we fall asleep after an hour.
Yeah. True.
So we just sort of involuntarily quit after an hour.
Yeah, that makes it easy. You just don't want to fall asleep while you're in the middle of the trade. That's the good thing about they only last less than a minute. So you can get in and out. But I want to just kind of touch upon something, because Mike is saying that we made 3% or 4% or 5% or pennies. 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents. My SPY trade was actually 27 cents a share of a profit. But an option contract, and that's why options are traded in contracts. And 1 contract equals 100 shares of the underlying equity, whatever that is, SPY, Apple. And so when we say 6 cents, it's 6 cents times 100, which is $6. But you're only investing like $100. So that's how you get 6%. If you want to invest $1,000, then that $6 becomes 60. It's still the same 6% or 5% or 4 or 6 cents or 5 cents or 4 cents. It's times 100, and then it's time how many contracts. So if you want to invest more money, you just buy more contracts. If you want to invest less money, you have less contracts. 1 contract is only like $100 or $200. That you can trade with that amount of money, with that little amount of money. It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can start with $400, $500, and you make $30 or $40.
Yep.
But it's still money, right?
Well,
and like Carl said, an hour a day, and he's done. And you can go do anything and everything else that you want to do for the rest of the day.
Well, I say we're up like 21% as of to the close of today. And that's not huge compared to what we normally do, but that's 21% in less 1 day short of the best mutual funds. And they will tell you this. Go to their website, ask them what they average. Most of them 5 or 6% max a year. We're talking a slow day here, a slow week is 21% for the week. Incredible.
Yeah.
You see what Joe Carl said is sleeping a new rule.
Appreciate you, Carl. I had one trade on SPY today with a 12.32% gain. This trading process is the best I've ever seen. Wow. Use it every day for 1 hour. Yeah, he agrees.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 hour done. That is all. Um, Before I shut down these charts, let me just show. I'm going to run through these really quickly so you kind of know what you're looking at. I know we showed this, but we didn't really explain it. And it'll be a lot simpler than you think. The yellow line, that gold line right there, that makes the V's up and down is just the price. That's when, if you open your phone on Yahoo Finance and you see what is the price of SPY, it'll be that yellow line. The white and the green and the blue line are all together. We call them 1, 2, and 3. And as they move, we're able to identify different phases of the market. I'll touch on that in a second. And then on the bottom lines, we look at the red and the blue, and we follow that red line to see if it's high or low, and then what it does. The really only other thing on here primarily is those red bands. When they get wider, that means one thing to us. When they get narrow, that means another. So it's just a few indicator sets, really. You have the lines in the middle, the red lines, and then the lower boxes, and then that one on the bottom with the green and red bars. It's quite simple, honestly. It is quite simple. I will tell you that.
Micah says it's quite simple, but even he's been around long enough to know it. Certainly, Randy and I have. Years ago, you weren't able to do this stuff. Even just a few years ago, you could not do this stuff. But now the trading platforms have gotten so good, and you have such beautiful access to option tables and to all these executions, and the commissions have virtually disappeared. Everything is so much better than it used to be. And I'm talking go back as far as 16 years in Randy's case, a few more in mine, and Randy's, not that many in Micah's, but certainly several number of years. And again, I don't know how much better they can make you can always say, well, they don't have to charge any commission. Well, some of them don't charge commissions. I just don't know how much better it could be. I guess maybe just get faster. Pretty cotton picking fast as it is now. So.
Yep. Writing a quick note here. Absolutely. Any questions going on? Oh, yes, I was going to touch on the phases. Actually, Randy, could you give us a just few-minute rundown on basically what momentum is and what it is we look for, and then the 4 phases that basically every stock goes through?
Sure. And as Micah showed on that chart, we have 3 or 4 lines on the top, and they're all moving average lines. And they are giving us the indication of what direction is that equity movement right now and how strongly is it moving in that direction. That's called momentum. And is it getting ready to slow down and potentially be changing direction? So what we want to identify is the beginning of that direction. So where it was going down and now it just started going up, or it's been going up and now it just started going down. We call that the birth phase. Micah mentioned 4 phases. So that we identify 4 phases in the life cycle of that movement of going up or going down. It's the birth. That's the first time that those lines cross. Then it goes into momentum as it continues going in that direction. And then we have exhaustion that says, hey, this is slowing down. It could really start going the other way. And then death is when the opposite happens. So we want to be in the momentum portion. And we don't try to ride it out as far as it could potentially go, because that's where you can start giving back profits that you already had available. So when I trade, I'm not watching the chart to say how much further can I go. I put an order, it fills, and immediately I put an order to close it for a profit. My target's about 5%. Then you can watch the chart and say, does it look like it's going to make it that far? If it starts not going as fast, then you can close it out and take whatever profit that you have. Or if all of a sudden it goes in the other direction, as Joe said, you close it out quickly to keep it from going down. But that's what the chart, it's constantly telling us, Is this in a rising cycle or a declining cycle? Is it strong momentum in that direction, or is it getting weak? Is it getting ready to change direction? And you're just watching it for that setup to say, oh, it's getting ready to change direction. Oh, this might be going the other way. I'm getting ready. Let's see if it actually does. Oh, there it is. It did. I'm in the trade. And so you're ready for it. You get in, and immediately, and like I said, mine and Joe talks about Tim's, 27 seconds. It was basically as fast as I could put an order in to close it out. And um, and sometimes you get more than that because it's going so fast in that momentum that that it surpasses what you said I want to sell it for. You sell it for even higher. So it's that simple. You're watching those four lines, and when they cross, you enter. Whether it's going up, you enter, you buy a call. Whether it's going down, you buy a put. It's probably the most simplest trade you can do. You're just buying and then you're selling. And so throughout the rules and what Tim and Joe and Micah and Cezanne teach in that morning hour of teaching is also what equity do you want to do it on? You don't do this trading on just any stock out there. It needs to have certain characteristics, and so they teach you what are those characteristics, and so that you have a higher probability that you are going to be able to get in and out of these positions very quickly. And it's all part of the rules. It's a whole set of rules. They're not real complex. They're not real complicated. Um, but you learn those rules. You see how the chart is setting up. Like SPY is starting to get into that exhaustion phase right now. It might be rolling over to start going back down, but don't jump yet. You wait till it actually does. Then right now, it'd be getting ready to buy a put and waiting for that confirmation on the chart, and then sell it for a profit shortly afterwards. So it's great because you're not in it for an hour or 2 hours, and it doesn't matter. It is there's the entry point. So I'm not getting it because I'm talking right now, but it's quick in and out, and you're back to cash. You stop whenever you desire, and you don't keep going all day. This is not something you want to just sit there and do 100 trades every day. You get in, study, concentrate, get your trade in, out. You're done. Go do something else. The next day, you're going to be able to get a trade the same. And there's always opportunities.
And hey, Randy, throw up that screen that shows our names at the bottom. It's up there most of the time. Yeah, when you yeah, there you go. When you do take time off, then you have other things that you can worry about, and even though they're not really all that important, but you can obsess yourself with them. For instance, Micah's name is capitalized. Randy's name is capitalized. It's that kind of stuff that you have time to take care of.
And it's your last name, Joe. Both of ours is just our first names, and then but like Madonna, like Lady Gaga, they just have one word, and that's all they need to identify them. You're just Hooper. I mean,
that's right.
when I'm capitalized, they know it's you.
That's right. I'm the smallest of the three.
Ken says, Micah, thanks for bringing up Tastyworks a few weeks back. They gave me some free money for deposit. Not an endorsement, just looking forward to cheaper commissions. Nice. Yeah, that's fantastic. Not an endorsement for me either. I have an account, but I don't we don't have any ties to them, but I would be a little bit cautious about the shorter term techniques. Sometimes the fills are a little bit slower than a full platform like E-Trade, Thinkorswim, TradeStation. But for any sort of momentum trade, especially, or if you're in a covered call, something like that, I mean, it's a great platform. It's made for options. It was developed by an options trader. So it's really tailored for anything you need to do with options. You can buy stocks on it as well, but it's just specialized for the types of things. Really good commissions, though, from that company.
I may be wrong, Micah, but I believe the developer of Tastyworks is the guy that wrote Thinkorswim.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that wrote all the programming for Thinkorswim. So then he started a new company, Tastyworks, and
Yes.
And uses, I think, even improved, technology from his platform perspective. So
Yeah.
uh,
That's absolutely true. Yeah, and he traded options for years and developed it. Like the knowledge he has about helping a trader succeed is unmatched. It's just a really good platform. If it like in a couple of years when they have really good fill times and servers and all that, I'll probably use them full time. I could use a little bit more functionality as well. You can't make a bracket order on MMT trades, which is how I like to do it. Basically, when you fill your entry, it automatically sends a stop below and an upper limit above. Um, that way, if it shoots in one direction really fast, if it shoots against you, you're safe. You have an automatic stop that's always in there. And if it goes up, you have that upper limit so you don't end up getting too greedy with it. I'm really enjoying that method of trading, but they don't have that feature on Tastyworks yet. So perfect. Well, thank you for all the questions, guys. Looks like the Fed meeting is done. Anything to watch out for the rest of this week?
We got one day left.
Watch out for everything. It's a crazy market still.
it's still the reaction and digestion and movement based on what all that Fed meeting and the press conference was yesterday. And so the traders here in the U.S. and around the world, they're still trying to really figure out. And like I think President Biden said something about reading tea leaves the other day, but that's what the traders are really trying to do. They're trying to read between the lines, and he said this, or his body language was that, and he really meant this. He didn't say it, but I know this is what's going to happen, and then that's what they do their trading on. And again, those the traders that have the big dollars that basically they're programming computers to do their trading. That's market. So when all of a sudden they think that, oh, when he said that, I think this is what he meant, then they do a trade based off of that. They're not trading because Apple's going to have great earnings tonight or because Microsoft had a great announcement. That's not what's driving the market right now. It does in the short term for like 15 minutes, and then that goes away. And the overall, what those big traders are thinking about the future. So we still have the next FOMC meeting coming in March where it's expected that they're going to raise interest rates. And so right now the market thinks they're going to raise interest rates. When they really do it, that could be another big change, because everything they said yesterday is what everyone's been talking about for the last couple of weeks. There was nothing really in there that's any different. So now it's just an interpretation of what did that word really mean? And that's what the big traders, they're always trying to guess 3 to 6 months out. We're not doing that with intraday. With that chart, we're saying, is this direction going down in the next couple of minutes or is it going up? And that's all. It doesn't depend on what's happening in March or what's happening next week or tomorrow. It's right now. And we're just trading that short-term momentum of that equity. And it makes it a lot less risky from that perspective. That we're not out there that overnight some major event takes place and it totally changes the direction of the market the next day. We're just in and out. And every night for those trades, cash, sleep like a baby, because you're not worried. You're just waiting to say, when can I get back in tomorrow? I want to get my next trade. And then, like Carl, trade for an hour and you're done. And you wait till the next day. There's always the next day. And based on that chart, there's always a position to either be going up or going down and make your profit.
And I mean, it truly is most of the time you're not in it, because Carl may have traded for 1 hour, but if he was only in one trade, I mean, even if he pushed his rules a little bit, it's less than 3 minutes, less than 2 minutes, right? He's not in trades for an hour, actively going all these positions to make 12%. Extremely that is why it works. So
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
it's allowing a span of like an hour or 45 minutes of that you're watching the charts, waiting for the right perfect time to do your trade. And you can finish with one, or you could continue on for that hour, 45 minutes, whatever that you're devoting, and do maybe 2 or 3. But that's it. So it's not 100 trades during that time. You're just waiting for the best setup that you can find on that chart to buy. So it increases your probability that you're going to be successful.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being here. We're at about 45 minutes, so I think we're all good. Yes, be careful into tomorrow, everyone. Trade safely. Let us know if you have any questions, and then go ahead and visit our site if you have any questions as well. Throw it up there for you. But again, lots of things coming out. We have some new. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not. We have a lot coming down the pike, though, especially February. We're finishing designing all that and getting it out to the first few people, and then we have a lot coming in March. Changing a lot of things with our material, and updating everything to make it very understandable and simple and just easy to follow the rules.
Hey, Mike, put in the home office, putting a capital H on my name.
Oh, sounds good. Hey, when you enter, that screen that says Enter Studio?
Yeah.
That's where you type your name in.
Oh, you saying I've been putting it in wrong?
Yeah, you can type it right
there. If you put a capital
H,
it'll be on there.
I'm going to first check my birth certificate and find out what my first name is.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Being called Joe Long for so long, you're not sure if it's Joseph anymore.
Micah, there's my third trade. I'm done. I made another couple of percent, and I'm getting ready to go to baseball practice. Getting ready. I'll be playing in a tournament next week in Florida. So I'm done. I'm going out to go play baseball and do other things this afternoon. So that's how you do it. So finish the podcast. Did 3 trades while we were going in the podcast. Got over 15% return, and good enough for me.
There you go. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay healthy.
All righty, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.